wanted to get him on about the new big French study, but there's a bunch of others showing rats fed Monsanto corn, one type alone, had 70% of them died young. What are the females? 50% of the males. Giant tumors growing, what was it, twice as fast, more tumors. This is what a lot of other studies show. I wanted to get into that with him. But first, Doc, because I know you cover other stuff, what do you make of all these videos coming out of Obama supporters running around thinking they're going to get free goodies, free phones, which he's done, and now they go, and there's more. I'm going to get more free stuff as soon as Obama gets in. I mean, that's what Benjamin Franklin talked about. Democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. And then people say, how dare you be against democracy? Well, we're not a democracy. We're a republic. You might want to tell folks what that is. It means that 51% say, hey, we voted to kill the other 49. Sorry, you can't do that. There's basic liberties that are enshrined rule of law. But, hey, you know, she's like, hey, take everybody's stuff. I want Obama phone. And but it's worse than that. You've got a lot of other corporate welfare people, the big mega banks. You know, they're not out there saying, I want my Obama phone like a Muppet, but they are getting trillions of our taxpayer money. Dr. Gold, give us your take on this.
First off, Elmo free phone was just priceless. And by the way, that's what it's like out there to some degree. It's like, please reelect Obama because we didn't get enough stuff in the last 4 years. I still want my iPad. I want my Obama iPad. I need my Obama laptop. I need my Obama, you know, SUV. I need my Obama stuff. She literally thinks everybody in her city is going to get free gear if they reelect Obama. It was priceless. And it is scary that is so prevalent in the community out there. It's just so amazing that they're voting thinking, if I vote for this individual, I'm going to get a bunch of free electronic gear. And that's why I should vote for somebody. It's not about education. It's not about the security of your nation. It's not about your independence and liberty. It's about, can I get some free electronic gear? It's like going to Fry's Electronics. Can I get some free electronics if I vote for you?
Well, I cover this in my new issue of InfoWars magazine. We have subscriptions available at InfoWarsStore.com. Evil capitalism, folks, where you support ideas that you think are important and free speech freely by free association, not MSNBC getting $500 million in taxpayer stimulus money to give raises to their little globalist minions. No, we don't come with a gun like a government and make you buy InfoWars magazine. But I break down in here the technocracy where MIT and others are saying soon they're just going to have brain implants that they're going to say treat depression, where your wireheads, Philip K. Dick wrote about this 30 years ago, where you'll have unlimited pleasure centers stimulated, but it'll be a government-controlled chip. And we're not very far away from this. You know, 20 years ago, they had remote-control cockroaches. Now they've got vaccines that go in and reprogram the brain so that you're never depressed again. They reprogram it by eating areas of the brain that are associated with depression. I mean, we're really here in a brave new world, and that segues us in to the cancer studies, in the rats. So these aren't the first, but now the Russians are banning GMO corn. The French are going crazy, burning down the crops that have been planted. But here, we're in a giant test tube, Doc, as you know, and we're leading the world in cancer and every other disorder. Break down what you think's really going on here.
Well, some companies in France did studies on the GMO corn by Monsanto. And it showed that over a 2-year period of time, that the rats that had that food source did much more poorly than the rats that had regular corn. In fact, they had a higher rate of cancer and many other things. And so a lot of people started reading those studies and saying, we don't want this. You know, we don't want to eat this food.
Like you can't get Obama phone.
Yeah, you get your Obama phone. But then Monsanto's response was, wait a second, your studies weren't long enough to show any damage. The studies done to show damage were 2 years long. The safety studies were 90 days long. So it's just hilarious. Your studies weren't long enough to show damage. They were 2 years. And the study that said that was safe was 90 days by Monsanto. And by the way,
funded by Monsanto people. They admit on that study at the bottom that it was funded by Monsanto.
Right. So the Russians, you know, you can say what you will about them, but they can read the data and they're like, I don't think we want this. You know, just getting rampant cancer is not something we want to take a risk on. And by the way, I got all 3 of my topics, or 4 of my topics, all involve Monsanto. Monsanto today is the #1 donor in the state of California to defeat Proposition 37. Proposition 37 in California says that if GMOs are in foods, it should be on the labels. And $25 million has been spent to defeat this, and only about $1 million to support it because, it's just grassroots. And you look at the supporters, I mean, like, who is supporting this ban? You would think in this openness, wasn't Barack Obama supposed to be all about fairness and openness and a more, we're going to all be telling the truth society? Monsanto, $4 million to make sure you don't know that GMOs are in your food in California. DuPont, over $4 million to make sure that you don't know GMOs are in your food in California. Pepsi, BASF.
Obama phone.
Yeah. Goes on. Coca-Cola, Nestle, Bayer, Dow, all spending millions of dollars in the state of California to tell you that you shouldn't have the choice to know that GMOs are in your food. They're going to try to convince you with millions of dollars in the state of California that you should not have the right to know if GMOs are in your food or not.
But none of that matters if I get an Obama phone.
Right. It's like, do you want to know about GMOs or not? If you don't, you get an Obama phone. Like, well, in that case, what the heck?
Cheryl Crow says the cell phone gave her a brain tumor, and the studies show that too. But whatever, as long as you get an Obama phone. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about 1.5 years ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of Youngevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals. But the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com, sign up as a distributor, and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. On the nightly news tonight, I'm going to play a bunch of clips of people thinking they're going to get free houses, free cars from Obama. Listeners are finding them all over the place. Mainstream media is only running 2 or 3 of them. We've got a whole bunch of them. It'll be on the nightly news tonight. And then this Sunday, 4 to 6, I'll be live with the Sunday radio show. I'm going to air this report that we're putting together. The problem is there's just too many of them. I mean, you're watching this stuff. You think it's a joke, folks. It isn't a joke. It's like, we run America now. We're getting free stuff. We're going to take your money. I mean, that's just everything the founders warned us about. Now, let's shift gears. Back to Dr. Cory Gold. Monsanto and others, what is it, like 20 million now they've spent in California, Monsanto and others together. It's like 19 million a few days ago. Now it's 20 million. 2 weeks ago it was like 16 million. It's growing millions every week to not let you have the food labeled. In Europe now they're restricting getting vitamins. South Korea, you can't get vitamins. I was told this by a guy who lived in South Korea, and I went and looked it up. It's true. Unless you go to a pharmacy and get a prescription, they're trying to go after everything now. I mean, these people are killing us. There's no doubt that, look, this isn't an accident. Every major GMO food that gets studied, if it's cross-species, is reducing fertility and has stuff added to it. There's no way it could always be bad. I mean, I'm not even against some genetic manipulation if it's properly tested. There's no way this is an accident, Doc.
Well, I mean, the whole irony of it is we have a president in the office right now who came with hope and change and transparency. And so in California, we said, hey, how about being transparent and just tell us what's in the food? We're not even saying ban it. We're just saying tell us if it's in there. We'll make our own decisions, what to do, like maybe like you do for peanut labeling and other things. You tell us what kind of fats are in food. Just tell us GMOs are there or not, and we'll make a decision ourselves. And they're saying, no, we'll tell you if there's peanuts in the food, but we won't tell you if there's GMO in the foods. And, they're actually paying $25 million. It's up to almost $26 million right now, so that you won't have the ability to make decisions for yourself. You won't have the ability to go look at and say to yourself, I've done the research myself. I don't want that food. I've done the research.
The last time I saw it was 20 mil. It's now 26 mil.
It's 26 million as of today. And the group supporting it, which is just, average everyday people, they've got $1 million, $1.5 million. And that's just from people like you and I donating $50 a pop. The average donation right now to defeat Proposition 37 is like $600,000. So you're not talking everyday people. Only 44 donations have been made. 44 companies have made donations to defeat Proposition 37. So they're all like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, ConAgra.
Pepsi, when I saw this 2 years ago, I didn't believe that PepsiCo had a division making flavoring out of dead babies in China because they got to do something with them. And it was true. And then they ruled this year that shareholders can't even go to the meeting and demand it be taken out. I mean, it's just, they have suicide nets around the Apple factories in China and have forced abortions on the site. I mean, we're in a science fiction nightmare. And when these so-called liberals get in control, all hell breaks loose because they're not liberals. They're not trying to domesticate us to help us. They want to control us.
Well, your freedom to know what you want to know, as long as it's what the government wants you to know. I mean, you would think that the government would say, listen, we want an educated, group of people. You make decisions yourself. We're telling you how much fat's in the food. We're telling you how much carbohydrates in the food. We're going to tell you if there's GMO or not. Well, no, wait a second. You can't know if there's GMO because we'd be afraid that if you knew there was GMO in the food, you would elect not to purchase it. Therefore, you cannot know because we don't want you having a decision not to buy something you don't want. That's what it is. They know that if you know, you'll avoid it. In fact, they say this is the battleground. If California bans or allows GMO labeling on the food, that would wipe out the GMO industry because nobody in California.
It'll be a ban by voting with the dollars.
Right.
It's over. We're just not going to buy their crud anymore.
Right. In Japan right now, it's required. China right now even requires it. France now requires it. But in the United States, they're trying to block you knowing something that's so fundamental.
We are such a joke because we think we're so free, we're becoming totally enslaved.
Well, think about this. A report out by a public citizen organization, which I'm not part of in any way. And that's a public group. It's not related to the Republican or Democratic Party. They just did a study that $30 billion has been fined to Big Pharma over the last 20 years. And they say that's only, basically, they had to pay fines worth about 2% of the profits they made on illegal marketing tactics. In other words, they were telling you that certain drugs were good for you for certain things that they were never proven to be good for. In other words, take this drug for this condition, but we have no evidence to support you even need it.
Or it turned out they knew that it was actually bad for you.
Oh, yeah, we got that too with the Vandia.
Let's break that down when we get back. Folks, they get a 2% fine for knowingly putting HIV in your factor VIII blood product for 11 years that killed hundreds of thousands.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done has been right.
And humans are seen as animals by the globalists. And they've got the drones, the technology, the soft kill weapons, and the food and the water. And they're hitting us and hitting us hard. But not only can you avoid the poisons, you can also use the building blocks, the key full-spectrum vitamins, minerals, and trace elements to empower your body to reverse a lot of this, and the science is there. And yes, I've got Dr. Cory Gold on to break down the news. He's a great syndicated talk show host on quite a few stations in his own right. But he's also, look at this right here, almost forgot to plug this, he's also one of the most successful developers as a chemist, biologist, dentist, doctor, of some of the best-selling products in the world, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I was so honored when I said, hey, I'd like to work with you on something that is branded to Alex Jones. I'm so proud of the products you developed. All my favorite products are the ones he developed. And he said, well, it's funny. I'm thinking about doing a berry-flavored pollen burst that has even more antioxidants, along with all the B vitamins and minerals and the pollen extract that's in there that's so incredible. And I'm like, are you kidding? Pollen burst is my favorite. I don't like energy drinks that make me feel weird. This doesn't do it because it does it with the vitamins and the minerals, and it's got the caffeine, I guess, from a natural, green tea in there. And it gives me more of a boost than 3 cups of coffee, even though it has a lot less caffeine, because it synergistically works. And when you purchase it at InfoWarsHealth.com or Infowars team.com or anywhere else for that matter, it supports the broadcast and what we're doing. So as you can see on the packaging, as featured on the Alex Jones Show, it's a win-win-win-win-win. I promote gold. That was at $245 an ounce 11 years ago, and I said it would go up because of global currency devaluation when they detonated the derivatives bomb. Exactly as I said happened. Not a rocket scientist. I've studied history. I know about Weimar Republic, Zimbabwe, Argentina 12 years ago. I know where we're going. I said Europe would be in flames. It's begun. And I say, filter your water. Don't drink fluoride. Harvard admits gives you brain damage and bone cancer. I mean, it's just real simple. I promote what I do. I promote what I use. And it's a win-win-win. Go there, InfoWarsHealth.com, InfoWarsTeam.com. Knowledge is power, and get the Pollen Burst or Pollen Burst Plus. And Alejandro Jones is right there on the cover of the Pollen Burst Plus. We have the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. They've got the best brand, and I've used them all, of essential fatty acids. It's all available right now at InfoWarsHealth.com. A huge catalog, every product in the Youngevity system. And when you sign up to become a distributor, you get big discounts. You can also sign up for free shipping at InfoWarsHealth.com. So the best deals anywhere out there on the full spectrum of Youngevity products, over, 300 of them, at InfoWarsTeam.com or InfoWarsHealth.com. Or if you need help signing up, they're on the website. If you guys will scroll down, I'll give them the toll-free number that is there on the site. Again, at the bottom of InfoWarsHealth.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of it for me, guys, there is the toll-free number. Or I guess I can just go to InfoWarsTeam.com. I know that it's on that site as well. And we just put team at the end of Infowars.com. And I will give that number out on air for everybody. 877-551-1301. 877-551-1301. And we've got members of the Infowars team there, a lot of nutritionists, you name it. You never know who's going to answer the phone. Doctors, lawyers, got a great team of hundreds of people there. That's why you can join the team there to basically take your order, answer your questions. 877-551-1301. I didn't get Dr. Gold on to start going wild plugging this today, but the Alex pack is up there discounted. It is all right there. Incredible, healthy weight loss products, heart products, you name it. It's all there at InfoWarsTeam.com or InfoWarsHealth.com or 877-551-1301. There's also emails there that you can email people if you like to correspond that way. Catherine at InfoWars.com, MZ at InfoWars.com, and just a lot of other ways to get in touch with us there on the site. 877-551-1301, InfoWarsHealth.com. Doc, I want to get into all the other attacks and the battle that's joined and all these new medical reports and the cancer connected to the GMOs. But first off, let's do a little more plugging here. Mid-air refueling and funds our freedom. We're not the government who comes with a gun and takes money and then uses it to finance anti-family globalist garbage. And I want to get into the attack on the family. Michelle Obama running what your kids eat all over the country now. Not just, it started in Illinois 3 years ago, their Chicago Mafia model where evil parents can't pack lunches for their children because the state owns them. Now that's spreading nationwide. I mean, a real dark age here happening. But before we do that, tell people about why Pollen Burst Plus and Pollen Burst is so special and so revolutionary.
Well, thank you for all those kind words. Yeah, in some ways, we're not even parents of our children anymore. We kind of just keep them in our houses while the government allows us to, and they tell us what to do, and we just kind of do it for them. Pollen Burst, it's a fantastic product that we started creating several years ago. We wanted a drink product that people would enjoy taking, not like a medicine-y product, and a product that people would enjoy taking that would have a wide spectrum of essential minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and it would also give them natural energy. So like you mentioned, we have the green tea extracts in there, and that has an energy component to it, but it also has these great things called ECGCs, which are naturally very powerful polyphenols, which are antioxidants, and your body loves antioxidants. Plus, it has something in there called SOD, superoxide dismutase. And your body loves SOD. In fact, your body makes SOD. It's the chemical that your body makes. It's one of 3 antioxidants that your body naturally makes on its own. We have the only proven source of SOD that can be taken through a drink or a pill product and it be absorbed into the body. It's not something we say. It's something that's been scientifically proven and actually patented. And we're very proud that we're using it. It's difficult to use, and we're proud that we're using it well. So your body can really absorb that SOD and gets great antioxidant benefit. And most of the listeners know that SOD and antioxidants are really important in your immune system, preventing sun damage, helping cells repair, and trying to keep away things like cancer and other things like that. In addition to that, you've got your vitamin D. We all need vitamin D, more and more evidence coming out on that. And we're not sprinkling just tiny little bits of things to put them into the label. We're actually putting functional doses into them. We have all the B vitamin spectrum, vitamin A. We have the flower pollen micronutrient complex in there. We're very proud of what's in there. And it's low in calories. It tastes great. Your kids will enjoy taking it. And they'll think they're getting something that's a treat as opposed to a punishment. And you just feel natural energy when you take it. And I'm an adult. I don't want to feel like some of these drinks do, where I feel jittery, or I don't want to feel like I'm getting hot and sweaty. I don't want to feel like I can't go to sleep. I want to feel I have empowered with natural energy, so I can sweep my garage if I want to, or I can sit down and read a book if I want to. That's the kind of energy I want.
Now, let's shift gears back into what you were breaking down there, Dr. Cory Gold here. We got cut off by the break, and you were starting to get into, well, just the full spectrum of what's going on.
Well, we were talking before about the $30 billion in fines to big pharma, and that includes like GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson & Johnson, Abbott Labs. Those pharmaceutical companies make about 2/3 of that $30 billion, or about $20 billion in fines. But those fines are a drop in the bucket. Think about this. Glaxo had a drug called Avandia, and they had research on Avandia that showed it had a huge increase in heart attack and other fatal risk side effects, and they didn't tell anybody. And now they're estimating, Public Citizens is estimating that 50,000 to 100,000 people may have died prematurely by taking this drug, and yet they only had to pay a very small fee. If you or I were to do something and cause the deaths of, or possibly the deaths of some people, or the harm to people, we go to jail. But nobody in their group is going to jail. They pay a small percentage of their profit back, and happily they keep working. It's kind of like they're paying off the government. Hey, listen, you did some really bad things. You pushed some drugs that didn't work. Some of them may have killed some people. Some may have not been right for that particular disease entity. Some may have been overpriced. Who knows what? Just give us a couple percentage points back and keep on going into business. So you help fund us, we help fund you, we all merrily go along. It's crazy. You would think that if somebody knowingly hid a scientific evidence that could have saved lives, they'd be in jail. But instead, they're just busily making their next drug. It's crazy.
You're right. I want to shift gears into an area here, because we now have all over the United States the federal government coming in and saying GMOs are good. We want you to drink fluoride that kills you. Harvard studies, that's all admitted.
Right.
We want to force all these inoculations on you. We want to put Ritalin and Prozac in you. We want to let Big Pharma kill you on record. Gardasil killed a bunch of people in the trials, so they have government mandated to give vaccine liability protection. But all that's okay. Michelle Obama, they say, decides what you eat, and now parents can't pack the lunches from Denver, Colorado to Chicago, Illinois. I mean, this is insane. Where is all this going?
Oh, it's just starting. We're just, for all of us who are maybe over the age of 40, when we remember back the happy days of our lives, our kids will not believe, and our grandkids will not believe the kind of lives that we led, because they're not going to be able to go to the store and buy whatever they want. They're going to be buying what the government tells them to buy. The thought right now, if I was to hand my kid a lunch in Chicago, it's very likely it might be confiscated from that child, and the kid told your parents aren't qualified to make you a school lunch, a home lunch. Therefore, you have to eat what school gives you.
But I discovered it's happening nationwide, and so is they're even arresting kids for chalking the street at their own house, hopscotching. They're arresting Amish, front yard, backyard gardens. I mean, this government's a lunatic.
Well, if they can take your kid's lunch away at school that you made as their parent, what's to say they can't tell you what you have to serve them for breakfast and dinner? I mean, really?
No. The Department of Education, the Department of, what's the big one? The one over the farms, the Department of Agriculture. They said 10 years ago, I covered it. They said, we're going to decide what you eat. You're going to have a national smart card. There's not going to be any more cash. We're going to track everything you do. We're going to tax you. And now Bloomberg's proposing all this.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the whole vein of helping you out, they're gonna take away your decision making because you're too stupid to make decisions. And if we let you make your own breakfast, lunch, and dinner, who knows what you might do? Therefore, for your own protection, we're gonna put cameras in your homes. We're actually gonna put barcodes on all your foods. We're gonna weigh you every few weeks to make sure that you're weighing the right amount. And if your cholesterol goes up, we're going to mandate you take cholesterol reducing medications. You know, we are now basically your brain, and you're basically a walking vessel, and your children are not your own. You get to keep them as long as you play by our rules, which is do exactly what we say. So do I think we're going that way? Unfortunately, I think we are.
It's amazing. And, you know, you tell people the UN wants to ban all vitamins and minerals over the counter, even the adulterated crud most places sell. And they're like, oh, that's not happening, even though it's on record, Codex Alimentarius. You can go read it on the UN website. But I think the tyrants are rushing everything now because they know they've followed the trajectory. They know that overall, people that still aren't completely brain damaged are waking up and saying no. They can see their time of tyranny's coming to an end. The pendulum's starting to swing the other way. So they're racing in to try to clamp down now, and that's only backfiring on them more. I don't think they're going to get away with this.
Well, I hope not. And you would think that people would instinctually, somewhere in their gut, start getting angry and say, wait a second, you know that song, We Aren't Going to Take This Anymore, one of my favorite songs.
We're not going to take it. Yeah.
You think that somewhere would rise up inside you and say, wait a second, you're actually proposing we don't know that GMOs are in our food? Really? You're kidding me right now. That one you went too far on. You're telling us that it's bad for us to know. But so I think at some point, you know, right now you can go to some schools and they'll give you the morning after pill and they won't tell the parents. So, I mean, at some point the parents have to say, wait a second, you can't be dealing with my 13-year-old daughter that way. Those are family decisions, not your decision as a school to make about a morning after pill or driving a child to get an abortion or giving those kind of decisions. That should be a family decision.
You live in California where they're already shooting them up without parental consent as young as, what, 11? I mean, let me tell you something. That is criminal to have a punk government saying, oh, well, your kid gave consent. You don't have consent till 18. I mean, that is the criminal's creed that, oh, you know, the kid gave consent to whatever the case was.
Well, my younger one can't give consent to anything because she's not old enough to make consent. She's not a legal adult, and she doesn't even have a background to make those decisions. How can you, even in the criminal court, say if somebody doesn't have the mental faculties, they can't be considered to be guilty because they didn't know what they were doing. How could my 16-year-old have the mental capability or the background to know those decisions of that ramification? She can't.
It's unbelievable. Well, we've got to have you back up very, very soon, Doc. Briefly spend a few minutes, though, here, because, you know, we're not the government taking people's money and then using it against them. You know, we're here free market promoting what we believe in, voting with our dollars, buying organic with those who are voluntarily labeling it and getting it certified. I know there's moves to not let milk companies say there's no GMO or no growth hormone. I mean, they don't even want you to be able to voluntarily say, hey, we're natural. Of course, natural doesn't mean anything now. You know, we're actually organic, pesticide, herbicide, GMO free. There's that move. That's why now it's more important than ever to know who the best vitamin and mineral supplement companies are out there. Why is Pollen Burst and things like Beyond Tangy Tangerine available at InfoWarsHealth.com? Why is that, I mean, literally heads above the rest compared to the competition out there? What makes it so special? And what are the types of things that these products can do for different degenerative problems and things that are out there? I mean, it really is a cornucopia of just miraculous things because your body is designed to run off this stuff. And there's the big secret hiding in plain view.
Well, I'm one of those Bible clingers that believes that we were divinely created. And I believe that our body was given, innate abilities to do a lot of things to help heal itself. Not everything, but most things. Your body has an intelligence to it. And if it's given the right minerals, I mean, it's almost crazy when you think about it. If somebody says, listen, you need to have your 60 essential minerals. You need to have your 60 essential vitamins. You need to have your 12 amino acids. You need to have your 3 omega oils. And somebody would say, you're crazy for listening to these people. You need to be on drugs and medications. You need to be on, aspartame. You need to be taking your Diet Coca-Cola. You need to be doing these things. And somebody out there says, listen, vitamins and minerals and amino acids are good for you. Those are the crazy folks. When I went to school, they said, listen, you are what you eat.
That's right. Exactly. Fetal cells of dead babies in Pepsi, good. vitamins and minerals bad.
Right. The people were telling you to eat well and eat organic and have pure water and try to have pure oxygen in your home and filtration and to have vitamins and minerals and to lower your gluten ratios. Those are the crazy people. Those of you who are going and having like the fat substitutes and the sugar substitutes and going and having your vaccinations, those are the same people. And somewhere along the way, people are going to have to say,
exactly.
It's 1984 all over again. I'm hearing crazy talk in my head. And eventually the light bulb has to go on and say, how can it be bad to supplement? Really? How can that be bad?
Exactly. While we've done what the MDs say and the big pharma, and we're leading the world in every horrible disease and cancer and you name it. Dr. Gold, thank you so much for the time.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.